The harsh sun beat down on the dry, cracked earth of the desert as a lone cowboy. Jake Sullivan rode through the vast, empty landscape. His horse's hooves kicked up dust as he moved along the beaten path, unaware of the life-changing encounter that was about to unfold. Jake had heard rumors of Apache tribes living in the area, but never thought he would cross paths with them until today. It was when his horse stumbled, tired from the long ride, that Jake noticed something unusual on the horizon. A small figure, barely visible against the wide expanse of the land, was walking toward him. It was a woman. Not just any woman. She was dressed in traditional Apache attire, a long flowing dress made of animal hide, her dark hair braided and cascading down her back. As she approached, Jake could see the intensity in her eyes, her face determined yet serene. But it wasn't her that captured Jake's attention. It was the child she was carrying, a little girl no more than 4 or 5 years old, wrapped tightly in a blanket, clinging to her mother as they both approached the cowboy. The woman stopped a few feet away, her gaze steady. She was no stranger to the ways of the land, and the survival instincts of a mother burned bright in her eyes. "I've been watching you," the woman said, her voice steady and calm. "You've been traveling for days. You look hungry, tired. You must be lost." Jake nodded, wiping the sweat from his brow, grateful for the chance to speak with someone in this unforgiving land. "I'm not lost, just looking for water and some shade for my horse." The woman's eyes softened. She studied Jake for a moment before taking a step forward. "We have food. Water, too. You've come at the right time." As the woman led him to a nearby creek, Jake noticed the quiet peace in her movements. She wasn't just offering him water or food. There was a deeper understanding between them, an unspoken connection. He accepted the offering gratefully, enjoying the coolness of the water as it trickled down his throat. The woman didn't speak much, but when the meal was ready, she sat with Jake, her daughter resting quietly in her arms as they shared the meal. It was a rare moment of human connection in the wilderness. "Thank you," Jake said, genuinely moved by the kindness shown by this stranger. The woman looked at him, a glimmer of something ancient in her eyes. "You fed my daughter," she said softly. "Now, according to the ways of my people, you belong to me. You have honored my family, and now my life is intertwined with yours." Jake, taken aback by the woman's statement, didn't know how to respond. He hadn't been prepared for such a tradition, but the sincerity in her voice made him pause. He was a man of honor, a cowboy with a sense of justice. Perhaps this was a sign of something more, something deeper than just a chance encounter. As Jake rode further into the desert, his mind was heavy with confusion. He had never heard of such a tradition. The Apache people were known for their fierce independence, their strong ties to the land and their rich culture. But to have a woman declare that he belonged to her because he had fed her daughter, that was something completely foreign to him. What did it mean to belong to someone in their world? Did it mean he had to repay the favor? Or was there more to it, something that would unravel in time? Jake's thoughts were interrupted by the sudden appearance of the woman again. This time she wasn't alone. She stood tall, her daughter beside her, and another figure, a man, stood next to her. The man was tall, with dark eyes and a strong build. He was dressed in the traditional attire of the Apache people, his face hard and unforgiving. Jake knew immediately that this man was important. He wasn't just a warrior. He was someone who had authority. "You've come far, cowboy," the man spoke, his voice low and commanding. "We have watched you, seen your actions. The ways of our people are not to be taken lightly." Jake looked at the woman, then back at the man. "I don't know what you mean." "I simply shared food and water with your family." The man's eyes narrowed. "Food and water are sacred to us. You did more than just feed her. You showed kindness, and in our tradition that has meaning. You are bound to her now." Jake didn't understand what the man was trying to tell him. "I didn't mean to do anything wrong. I didn't come here to get caught up in your traditions." The woman stepped forward, her expression steady and unyielding. "You have already become part of our world. There is no turning back now." Jake felt a knot tighten in his stomach. This wasn't just about food and water. It was about something deeper, something far more powerful. And as the man's gaze fixed on him, Jake realized that the woman's words were not just a cultural statement, they were a challenge. Jake couldn't shake the feeling that he was being pulled into a world much bigger than himself. The woman had said that he belonged to her now, and the more he thought about it, the more he realized that her words weren't just a matter of tradition, they were a promise. The promise of protection, of family, of something deeper than just survival in the wild desert. But the question remained, what did Jake owe to this woman? He wasn't sure. But one thing was clear, he couldn't walk away from this encounter without understanding the weight of the Apache traditions. In the days that followed, Jake found himself returning to the woman and her people. He learned their ways, their beliefs, and the value they placed on honor and respect. But even as he embraced their culture, he couldn't ignore the bond that had been formed between him and the woman. One night, as they sat by the campfire, the woman spoke again, her voice carrying the weight of ancestral wisdom. The land, the sky, and the stars, they are all connected. You too are connected to us now. You fed my daughter, and that act binds you to our tribe. Jake nodded slowly, understanding more than ever that this was about more than just survival. It was about the bond between humans, the deep respect they owed each other, and the legacy of their ancestors. And in that moment, Jake realized that he was no longer just a cowboy. He was part of something much greater, a family tied together by tradition and honor. Don't forget to subscribe! If you're captivated by this incredible story, don't miss out on future chapters. Subscribe now for more twists, turns, and deep emotional connections.